Silk. Yes, it's a luxurious fabric and beautiful to wear, but the cruelty behind silk is such that vegans refuse to buy into this industry. So let's do the intro and we'll get into it. Hi, it's Fee here, the healthy vegan author and creator of the Gold Card Vegan resource website. Now, silk is a fabric that we tend to think of as being okay. I mean, they're just grubs after all, but there is cruelty behind the silk industry that we tend to overlook. It's a little bit of history first. According to legend, roughly 2000 odd years BC, Princess Si-Ling Chi, the wife of Emperor Huang Ti, discovered the secret of silk by picking up a cocoon that had fallen from a tree into her hot tea. Now, the Chinese then figured out the critical stages of the silk making process. So, firstly, the pupae needed to be stifled inside the cocoon before it emerged as a moth. Now, silk stayed in China until the Silk Road opened up around 130 BC, and the fabric started to be traded. But it was centuries later before other countries began to cultivate the silkworm, and when that happened, silk production expanded. So that's a really brief background of how silk is, or where it came from. The silk is the protein fibre found in certain larvae of certain insects, or found in certain insects. And the most well known is the mulberry moth. This moth is actually reared in captivity, and I don't think that there are I couldn't find any research or anything that says that it's in the wild anymore. Now, the silkworm never gets to be fully grown because it's the cocoon that is needed. So, live cocoons are thrown into boiling water. And, that sort of makes me think about lobsters and crayfish. That's one way that they're killed. I do believe, however, that is being phased out in many kitchens because they know now how violent and cruel that death is. Alternatively, the cocoons can be exposed to toxic chemicals, which again kill the pupae. Now, the process of being scalded or poisoned alive is violent and prolonged. This means that for every metre of silk fabric produced, thousands of silkworm lives are cut short and brutally. Now, there is a technique that does not require the killing of the worm. A man from India developed this technique. It's called the peace silk. But, and it's a very big but, even though the cocoons are empty, the moths are killed. So the pupae is allowed to be hatched out as a moth. But there has been so much inbreeding over the generations, the bodies of the moths that emerge are far too heavy in proportion to their wings, making them unable to move, let alone fly. So the moths are crushed to death in a mixer, which sounds awfully like the same way that male chicks in the egg industries are killed by crushing. Now, some females are kept, obviously, and some male moths are also kept, and they're stored in a refrigerator and taken out only for mating. Now, this happens only a couple of times until the male is no longer functional, and at that point it's just simply discarded to wither away and die. The silk industry views these sentient beings as nothing more than silk factories to be exploited. But silkworms feel pain and suffer just like any other creature. They deserve our compassion, not to be boiled alive or maimed for our fashion whims. By not buying silk, we can help to stop this cruel practice. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment if you like. But above all, remember to have great food, make it plant-based, and be compassionate to all animals, insects, and humans. Bye for now.